little silly, like some voices? Can we get some wild animal sounds? Yeah? How about robot sounds? Fantastic. We'll get to practice this one in the story. We might as well have it get it milked in our voices. An evil laugh. Okay. The sound of angels singing. Love it. And know that part of the legacy of human history is we have myths, and they come from different cultures, but they have something essential, inside of each of them that tells us something about our own story. So the relationship between the sort of collective consciousness that we all share that can inspire and inform and spark our own relationship with our own life and the plot of our own story. And if we can relate to a myth in that way, it's possible we might feel a little less lonely and a little less alienated and recognize, wow, my story is not a lonely story. There's something that connects me to the heart of humanity. And so all the characters in the story that I'm going to share with you are you. They're a part of you. There's some different systems of dream analysis where you have a dream and everything that appears in the dream is a part of your consciousness, even like the yucky stuff, a part of you. So the bad guys in the story are you. The good guys are you. Everything that happens in the story is you. And if you can listen to the story in that way, then maybe it might even be more interesting. You might listen more intently through this process of recognition. And then we're going to sing a little bit, and then we're going to get on our mats, and we're going to bring the story to life through our bodies and our breath and some live music from the band and our imagination. One of the things that is a real gift of being a human being is we have these imaginations that can transform something that in one moment could be absolutely meaningless, completely mundane, into something, instead of being ordinary, extraordinary. We have this capacity, and it's called symbolism and ritual. And the seashell that you pick up on that special day, that you put on your kitchen windowsill, when you look at it, and you're like, oh, that reminds me of that, that walk that I took with that person I love. And now it's a seashell that's infused, with meaning and power, instead of just a piece of rock, on the ground that has no meaning at all. And so we're going to see if we can turn some yoga postures that maybe we've done hundreds or thousands of times into these meaning-making rituals. And this is something that we've done for years here at Mahabhuta, and I'm excited to take our final journey in this realm, in this context together, Bhakti on the mat journey. So, would you all like to hear a story? Yeah! Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, or maybe not so far, there lived a yogi who started out his yoga path, 30 days of yoga, $33. Not bad, pretty good deal. He was gifted immediately. After his first 24 hours of doing yoga, he was already doing headstands and handstands and forearm stands and pinky nail stands. After day 3, he decided to do the 200-hour teacher training program. He went on to do a 500-hour teacher training program, 1,008-hour teacher training program, ERYT 1008. The thing is that, just because you practice yoga doesn't make you a good person. Have y'all realized that yet? No. There's a few assholes out there that have a really great yoga practice. They can do all the moves and talk the talk, you know. Namaste. And that, unfortunately, this guy was one of those. He just, for some reason, his intentions were twisted. You know? And gradually, over the years, the combination of the dedication of his practice and these ill intentions, he started to turn from a normal human being who had a lot of potential to be a great yogi into a demon. Can we get a nice demon laugh, y'all? This guy had such a big head, he grew 10 of them. Can we get the sound of 10 heads laughing? Nevertheless, when a yogi is able to develop what are called siddhis, these superpowers, every once in a while the gods will visit and offer a wish, a gift, for the intensity, the tapas of their practice. So the gods and goddesses flew down from the heavens and they hovered around this yogi demon named Ravana, and they said, "We would like to honor the depth of your practice and offer you a gift. What would you like?" And Ravana laughed that evil laugh. She said, "This is what I want. I want to be king of the universe and invincible against any of you gods or goddesses. Even if you should challenge me, I'll always defeat you. This is what I want." And they were like, no, not that. He's like, "I've been thinking about it for a while. You must grant me this wish." And they were like, "Please, we can give you gold. We can give you, anything that you want. Palaces what is it? No, this is it. This is what I want." So they shook. Gods and goddesses shivered and they flew back to their abode. Ravana stood up and he started pounding his feet across the world. We get some nice marching sounds. All these other demons started joining him. And they started eating everything, y'all. They ate the beautiful trees and the flowers. They slurped up the streams and the oceans and the lakes and the flowers, and they started taking over yoga studios. Renaming them. There was a yoga studio, beautiful yoga studio called the Yoga Shala. They turned it into the Yoga Dala. Yoga Works became Yoga Jerks. They even went down to the Mahabhuta Yoga Festival and they renamed it the Mahabhuta Yoga Festival. They discovered this band that sometimes plays different yoga festivals, and instead of the Wild Lotus Band became the Wild Lotus Band. Yoga Journal became Yoga Urinal. Then they went to the Core Power Yoga Studio. And they were like, "We're not changing that name." We love it. Oh man. And they just basically devoured almost the whole world. And the gods and goddesses were just up in the clouds, just scared. What are we gonna do, And they decided to have a big council, and they gathered together, and they said, "We gotta come up with a creative solution. There must be a loophole that we can find here." And they got their the god of law consulted, their lawyers up there, looked at a bunch of books and was like, "Ha, found something, And so they decided to be reborn, not in the form of gods and goddesses on the earth, but of human beings and animals. and one of them was born a monkey. Can we get some monkey sound? And this little monkey man, he was just so full of life and just this innate belief in his own worth and his own strength. And the demons just ate and ate and ate, but they were always hungry, like hungry ghosts. They were never full. And they just devoured things, just consumed things, you know? And I don't know if you ever feel like that, like Amazon. Oh yeah, I need this and this and this, and this will make me happy. And this, oh yeah, but it doesn't last. The happiness doesn't last. You end up wanting something else, you know? This little monkey, he ate, but he shared his meals. And he sought out people that didn't have food and he fed them. And they sat and they enjoyed the food. They savored it. They loved it. They knew every drop was precious. And he ate like that. And he and his friends would defeat demons, you know, every second that they could, and go and find people that they could feed, you know, and serve. And it was really benevolent and really generous, and had just this like God-given sense of purpose and worth and love and connection and strength. And it wasn't egotistical like Ravana. It was really different. Like when you meet someone who is just bright and shining, and they're big, their presence is big, but it's not big in a greedy way. It's big in a generous way. So one day this little monkey was swinging through the forest, foraging for some fruit to share with his friends. By the way, some of his friends, there was a bunny rabbit, one of his homies, and a big bear, Jambavan, and a kitty cat, and a puppy dog, and a bumblebee. And they were really, really close friends. I mean, they were a community, like here at Mahabhuta. And so swinging from tree to tree, looking for some fruit, and all of a sudden, just like there's an opening in the canopy of the forest, and he sees up, just hanging in the sky, the biggest, juiciest, ripest, most awesome mango that he's ever seen in his life. And it's huge, and he's thinking, man, I could feed so many creatures with that. And he crouched down with this great sense of purpose. He flew up. Can we get some flying sounds now? Towards the mango, just up miles and miles and miles. Keep on flying with me, y'all. And he thought he was almost there. Now, just gonna clue y'all in. It was not a mango. It was the sun. But the little monkey thought it was a mango, so he's flying up there and up, hovering on a dark gray cloud, was one of the old gods who hadn't touched the earth in a long time and had become untethered from his heart and from any sense of humility. And he saw this monkey flying through the sky, this god named Indra, the Lord of Thunder. And he was so pissed that this creature was entering his territory. I like to imagine Indra actually sitting on like a lowrider, like Harley Davidson. You know, help me rev it up. And he's just freaking ripped. And he's got big thunderbolt tattoos down his arms and like a goatee with like a wax, like lightning bolt mustache, you know? How about the eyebrows too? And he sees this monkey and he's like, you little monkey. You know, repeat that with me.
You little monkey.
I'll show you, you little bastard.
I'll show you, you little bastard.
Flying into my sky.
Flying into my sky.
I might have saw him on the way over here, actually. So Indra reached down into his side saddle and he pulled out his biggest, most powerful thunderbolt with this huge, muscular arm. He hurled it at the monkey, and it just smashed into his jaw. And the monkey started flying down, falling, plunging towards the earth. The falling sound now. Big landed on the jungle floor. When he landed, oh my God, he started shrinking, y'all. The shrinking sound? He was shaking, shivering. And his friends gathered around him. The bunny rabbit, the bumblebee, and the bear, and the kitty, and the dog. And they didn't hardly recognize their friend. And they got like a magnifying glass out, and they looked, and they saw that his jaw was broken. You know how friends like rib each other sometimes, you know? They decided immediately to give him a nickname. We called him Hanuman.
Hanuman.
Broken jaw. And they were like, dude, what happened? And he was like, my friends, I don't know. I just feel something that I've never felt in my life, and I think some people call it anxiety. I've heard it called fear and doubt. And I feel completely overwhelmed by it. I don't even know who I am anymore. Have y'all ever felt that way? Have you ever reached for something out of curiosity, generosity, just this sense of like discovery and dreaming, and maybe somehow you fell, or you didn't reach that place you wanted to go, or there was some kind of detour or derailment, and you were brought into a new way of being that was unfamiliar? This was the case for Hanuman. And luckily there is medicine for this state of consciousness that Hanuman was feeling, this spiritual amnesia. His friends gathered around him close, like a little mini Mahabhuta Yoga Festival. They gathered close, and they started reminding him who he was. They started to help him to remember his strength again, his worth, his purpose. And they told him stories about his generosity in feeding all the creatures, fending off the demons, how beloved he was. And he started growing. You like growing, son? Muscles started popping out. You know, bodybuilders in India worship Hanuman. And he still like had this lingering like doubt, you know, and fear. And they were like, okay, we have more medicines for you, and we have medicine that's going to last you forever. And they said, we have a mantra for you. And they said, Shri Ram. You say,
Shri Ram.
Jai Ram.
Jai Ram.
Jai Jai.
Jai Jai.
Ramo.
Ramo.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Shri Ram. Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ramo.
And as they repeated this mantra, Hanuman, he didn't know what it meant, but there was something familiar about the vibration, the sound, and it ignited a light in his heart. It was like a candle had been lit inside of his heart, and it started flickering, growing brighter and brighter and brighter, and he stood up tall, bold and filled with courage, filled with that purpose, that sense of faith that he was born with. He remembered who he was. And with the support of this mantra that he carried with him to this very day, he went on to defeat those evil demons and Ravana with the help of an army, and with great, great purpose became a hero to all. Sita, who represents our voice and our creativity, had been kidnapped by Ravana, that evil demon. And Hanuman is the one that visited her and let her know everything would be okay. Hanuman is the one that made the great leap across the ocean that would give faith to Rama and his army to find Sita again. And eventually, on this day, thousands of years ago, upon thousands of oil lamps, candles lit, oil. The festival of lights, dewalli, a celebration of homecoming, a celebration of remembering who we are, of remembering the light inside of us, especially when it's been shrouded in darkness, and shadow, clouds. And as a part of this grand celebration, they had a ceremony and they prepared a gift for Hanuman, for all of his courage and the feats that he had done. And they made a beautiful necklace filled with the precious gems and diamonds, jewels from all over India. And Hanuman had become completely devoted to his best friend Rama, and everyone knew this. So he thought, well, of course they would have written Rama's name, on this necklace. He looked at it, and it was pretty enough, but he started searching for Rama's name, biting the jewels, and they were like, Hanuman, what are you doing? Crushing it in his hands, This is a gift. Call this a gift? It doesn't even have Rama's name on it. Suddenly, his body started to shake. He dropped the necklace and it shattered to the earth. And he reached his claws into his chest and he tore his own heart open. And he looked down inside and he saw that flame, that light, that inner candle flickering. And in the beautiful light of that candle, Rama's face smiling. And he had this epiphany. What you seek, y'all, is not out there somewhere. It's right here. Go ahead, put your hand on your heart. Rub your chest. Stoke that inner light. The kingdom of heaven is within. That thing that will make you whole is not out there somewhere. It's not on Amazon, y'all. It's right here. Maybe in a different form than you imagine. In honor of this, we'd like to share a little song that is probably being sung in some other places this morning here in Pensacola. I'm going to invite Chris to bring us into this one. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Sing with us. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When I'm at Mahabhuta. When I'm at Mahabhuta, I'm gonna let it shine. When I'm at Mahabhuta, I'm gonna let it shine. When I'm at Mahabhuta, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, little light of mine, but I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, but I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, but I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You say Gemma, 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 Om Shri Maha Lakshmi Om Shri Maha Lakshmi Gemma, 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 Gemma. On response. Gemma, 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 An invitation to tiptoe back to your mat. Carry that story and those songs with you and to come to child pose. Child that you are.